A flying start by Ian Cathcart got the 1982 Ulster International underway. John Coyne, the championship leader, was still looking for a win.
John Coyne, this must be your most successful year yet in Tarmac Rally.
Yes, I think we've had a fantastic run so far. If we can keep it up now for a few more events, we'll be fairly well set, I think, for the championship.
Did you take full advantage of the 3 days set aside for pace notes?
From 9 o'clock the first morning till 6 last night, yes.
And do you think that's going to be a considerable advantage?
I think it'll make the rally much quicker, but everybody at the top of the field will be going quicker, so I don't think it'll make much difference to the normal placings.
But perhaps more entertaining for the spectators?
Very much quicker, but we'll all be using racing lines instead of throwing it to see what's there. So there may not be quite as much drama unless we make a mistake.
John Morton from Lancashire visiting in the RS 1800. Malcolm Patrick and Rob Arthur, British champions, brought over their Opel Ascona 400. Early problems though for Brendan Fagan with a front puncture. Dusk saw Ken Wood in the Golden Wonder TR7 losing a few chips. But it was Bertie Fisher who found himself in the lead. As co-driver Austin Fraser read the notes, Bertie, who had been second to Jimmy McRae in the previous Ulster Rally, was setting a string of fastest times. By nightfall, Austin McHale was second and John Coyne was up to third. Swede Per Eklund in the team Toyota Celica was working his way up the leaderboard as the rally made its way to a service halt in Armagh. A smoke and a much-needed rest for rally leader Bertie Fisher and a routine check-up for the Escort. Bertie would have been happier if McHale wasn't just 30 seconds behind. A Renault 5 Turbo can be something of a mechanic's nightmare. The source of the problem, however, was simply a broken spark plug, much to the relief of Welshman John Price. Maximum candle power was in use for the night stages, but by morning the picture was changing. Mr. Fisher had stretched his lead to a minute overnight, only to have it reduced to a few seconds after being delayed by a broken compression spring. This only induced a fan to make his verbal support more audible. McHale had lost 4 minutes with a puncture, allowing John Coyne into second. But it was a short-lived move because the Talbot was to roll off the road and out of the rally on a series of high-speed jumps further down this stage. Suspension problems were worrying Inniskillen driver Ian Cathcart, whose Opel was still on forest springs after competing in the UK events. The car's handling was too soft for tarmac, making Ian's battle with Per Eklund for second position all the more difficult. But the Toyota team weren't having a smooth run either. A bolt from the sump guard had punctured the sump and Per temporarily blocked the resultant leak with a rag. The number 1 seed in the 2-litre Celica was keen to improve on his recent second place in the New Zealand Motorguard Rally. Brilliant sunshine on the north coast of Antrim provided the spectators with a day to remember. But for the drivers like Austin McHale, it meant overheating tyres. This led Brendan Fagan to experiment with a new form of air cooling for tyres. Fagan had clipped the front of the Vauxhall Chevette, leaving part of his front spoiler on an earlier stage. Belgian visitors, Messrs Crockett and de Kock, were leading Group A. Exhaustive repairs were in hand at an impromptu outdoor workshop in Portrush, but Bertie Fisher's Escort was an excellent repair. The leader's RS 1800 headed for home, leaving behind the holiday resorts beyond Dunluce Castle. A magnificent performance by Bertie Fisher brought him his first international victory. But it wasn't over yet for Eklund. Cathcart was a mere 5 seconds adrift. Young Ken McKinstry came in 7th after a splendid drive. A last-minute sprint by Miles Stewart from Wales took him to 8th in the gleaming white sunbeam. The final stage was in the Belfast Enterprise Zone. Per Eklund had won the close fight for second from Ian Cathcart in the first Opel to finish. Just when Ian was really getting used to the tarmac. At the City Hall, it's congratulations, Bertie. The Manx International was the next event on the calendar and the only one outside of Ireland. Russell Brooks' victory there brought his points total to 30, just below John Coyne. Bertie Fisher's Ulster win was supplemented by a second on the Manx, placing him 3rd on the championship table with 27 points. Ger Buckley on 21 could still win the championship, but the best Brendan Fagan could hope for was runner-up.